Hey guys, welcome back to Crypto Mischief. Welcome back to TCOINS of the Week. Alright, so it is Friday and we're going to be going through the blockchain as we usually do every week on this channel, checking out projects that I'm in, projects that I'm not in, projects I'm going to go into, ones which have lost, ones which have won, and we're going to try and find balance and earn profit in this space. As always, none of this is at all financial advice. I'm just, talking about crypto. It's my favorite thing in the world, so that's why I'm doing it. If you enjoy it too, you like to find out about new kind of high-risk plays to use in crypto or how to use crypto for gambling, basically, then tune in, check it out, stay Degen. So we are going to first go to Polygon, and we're going to check out Polygon Land. It has been 7 days since launch. How have we done, right? So let's just check that out right now. After that, we're going to check out Elephant Money. It dumped. I told you last week that it was going to dump, and it did. It went down, right? Told you that. So if you watched last week and you took profit, then you bought back in, you got more Elephant. Nice. I didn't. I've been too busy. I didn't do anything. I bought more, actually. As you do. We're going to check out Pulse Trip because it is great. We're going to check out what happened with base rate yesterday, and then we're going to end the video with a new project which I will be talking about next week. So this will be a sponsorship, I guess. So I'm just going to give you a heads up. The sponsorship fund will be going into the engine, right? And what's the engine? Well, it's all to do with Polygon Land. So here we are. This is Polygon Land. It is a brand new concept static miner that we coded, and it is great, right? Check out prior videos if you want to know the mechanics of it. But all you need to know is the maximum APR is a daily of 3.5%. You lock your principal deposit in, and you get the APR back. It is static, so the miner price is always the same. Yeah, everyone gets the same price on miners, but there is inflation. We're going to talk about that very soon because we made some tweaks for sustainability, because we are able to do that because this contract is a beast and it's entirely upgradable, which is great. If you are a shiller, then you get 2% Matic on anyone who uses your link straight into your wallet, so you can do whatever you want with it. And the great thing about this miner, I think the best thing about it is, by owning our NFT collection, the SCC Poop, you will get you basically have a share ownership of the miner. You're earning the fee for going into this miner is 5%, and NFT holders earn 3% of that fee. So the success of the miner directly goes to the NFT holders, right? So that's why, if you're in it, or you own the NFT, you should be supporting it. Make content, tell people about it, share the news. So I'm in with this wallet, so let's just check out what's going on. Okay, so today we have a max balance of 206,000 Matic in the miner. Yes, that's over $100,000. We now are up to 255 investors. The total paid out has been 27,000 Matic already, so that's sitting at around about that 3.5% payout, doing really well. There's been no burn miners yet, and no reflection, because nobody is 50% ROI yet, because we're only been going for a week. 3.5% daily? Impossible to get your 50% in 7 days if it's 3.5%, right? That's the fair of it. So how does it work? I can buy miners whenever I want. Minimum is 5 Matic per miners. Your deposit is now a 12-hour timer. It was 15 minutes. We've extended that to 12 hours. The reason is because we noticed inside of Polygon Scan, the people who have large holdings in the miner, for example, we can come and see some buys that came in today. This one came in just earlier, a couple hours ago, 14,000 Matic in, right? A whale, yeah. So what's happening is that the whales are playing whale games, which means that they're trying to basically take away the contract to try and find any kind of way that they can get a great advantage by holding a larger position in the project, which is fair enough. We welcome whales, right? So this whale that we were watching had put in a large bag of Matic, over 10,000 Matic, and was then buying 5 Matic worth into the contract every 15 minutes to compound his earnings, because he was making more than that, right? So super compounding essentially his earnings, trying to outpace the rest of the miners. So we thought, okay, that is a good tactic, but we decided to change it. So we extended this timer on deposit now to 12 hours. So you now have to, if you deposit or if you reinvest, right, compound, or claim, you have to wait 12 hours to then deposit more. Good way to slow it down. But in terms of the contract doing well, we're doing great. So we can come here, we can go to contract, and we see how much dollar value is probably 120,000, 114,000. Because Matic is 55 cents today, right? 114,000 in the miner in 1 week, which is great. Awesome stuff. Then the brings the question. I said that the NFT holders are going to get some airdrops back, right? Which we're doing this month. I'm waiting for our vote to finish. This is our vote here, the Eternal Engine Matic pool. If you have an NFT, you can now vote on this. You have a couple days left to get the vote in. How's it go? So with Polygon Land launched, the Eternal Engine has a steady stream of Matic coin coming in. What strategy should be implemented with this Matic? The choices and the voting at the moment is use 25% in higher risk DeFi and 75% in Uniswap liquidity pools is winning with 55 mischief votes. SEC NFT holder, right? Second is just Matic and ETH, okay, which would just be a low yield, and this would be a higher risk but higher yield, right? So it looks like we're going to be taking 25% of the Matic, not the Bitcoin and ETH, which is from the mint fees, and we're going to be going into that. So let's have a look at what's been going on with that. 9,000 Matic. It says Phantom because MetaMask sucks, but this is on Polygon Network. Trust me. Which is way more than 1,800 because they're dumb. MetaMask, sort yourself out. Yeah, so today sitting in the Matic, this is only earned by the Polygon Land. In 1 week, we've earned 9,400 Matic for NFT holders, right? Which means by the time this vote finishes, which will be another 3 days, I believe, it ends on the 9th. Yep, 3 days later, looks like the 25% in high risk is won, right? Which means I'll be taking 75% of whatever's here. I'll be pairing that up with probably ETH, right? Matic and ETH, okay? And I'll be putting into an NFT pool in Uniswap v3. We're going to earn liquidity fee on that. We're going to earn trading fees on that from people swapping Matic and ETH, and then we'll be compounding that back into the pool and taking out yield to airdrop every month is the plan. In addition to our other NFT, which is solely in the, oh, we're out of range though. Really need to fix this. Now we're in and out of range quite up and down. See 16.9, we need to go down to 16.3. So this is about 15 grand at today's current Bitcoin prices. We have 8.8 rat teeth in here because now it's unbalanced. So I can have to decide, do I unpair, then pay 0.3% fee on that to then repair and pay another 0.3% fee, or do I just chill and wait for this to go back in range? It wasn't long, it was about 2 days ago that I compounded it, so we've made $26 in that time. So it does mean that it was in range quite recently. I'm going to wait, to be honest. I'm in no rush with this pool. This needs to hit the bull market and then grow like hell. That's the plan. But now we are going to be going pretty wild with the Matic to then give higher risk, higher yield, which is going to give me more stress, to be honest. But let's see what I can do with it. And the great thing is we are, with the success of Polygon Land and people continuing to get into this miner and enjoy themselves, the Matic continues to flow in, which means there'll be more Matic into the pool, more Matic into the higher risk pool, and more Matic into the airdrops of the NFT. And then, of course, we all know that we are launching Arbitrum Land 2, which is here. We are in the beginning processes now of planning it out. I'm just finishing a doc tonight to then give to the core code team, and we're going to get to making Arbitrum Land, testing it. No launch date. We're going to launch it when it's ready. That's it, right? And that's because it's going to be awesome. It's going to be completely different flavor to what Polygon Land is doing. I want to create Arbitrum Land to be a more sustainable model of Polygon Land, even more sustainable, which means lower yield. And most importantly, also, I want to give more benefits to NFT holders in Arbitrum Land because I think that is well deserved because the club is awesome. So that is Polygon Land. That is the engine. That is the vote. If you have an NFT, please vote. Pretty good turnout for the vote, but we can still get more votes in, right? So that's 5,100. We're collection of 500, right? Plus 500, and how many are minted now? We've minted 528 NFT been minted, and only 100 plus have voted. So that means only a fifth of people voted. You have 3 days left to get your voice heard, right, on what we're going to be doing with this funding in the engine, because really the engine is the life, heart, the blood of our project. We have some others. Well, we've got 0.2 ETH here as well. Nice. Just sitting there, chilling out. Right, so that is Polygon Land. And if you are looking for a link to use to get into Polygon Land, why don't you consider using the Eternal Engine? Because I use the referral link of the Eternal Engine. That means the Matic goes into the Engine wallet. 338 Matic has also been added to the Matic we're earning from the 3%, which is then going into the Engine too. I'm not taking that for myself. So I could have had $200, but I didn't take it, put it in the Engine for the team. I do sponsor videos, but I don't take all the money for myself. I take half of it and put it into the Engine too for the club. That is my attitude towards this project. Long-term vision, building trust every day, trying to get the perfect balance in the miner. Now, one thing I'm going to talk about is a change we made to the inflation mechanism inside of Polygon Land, right? We broke this down in an announcement on the shitcoin miners, so I guess I'll get into it right here. We got some good replies from it. I'm going to try to explain it as simply as possible by reading it to you at the same time. So, the security and sustainability of Polygon Land is of the utmost importance to us. Since launch, we've been following the global events of the contract and running intensive prediction formulas to be prepared for what lies ahead on that purple Polygon road, because we can run models to try and predict what's going to happen to the balance over time, what's going to happen to inflation, what's going to happen to the APR. When I say inflation, I mean, for you concerned, it is your daily APR, okay? We firstly found the issue 1 I said, where we extended the deposit timer, right, to 12 hours instead of 15 minutes. Issue 2, the dreaded inflation. We ran multiple prediction algorithms mimicking Polygon Land with 250 depositors, which it is sitting at right now, right? We have 255. Each wallet was either depositing 100 to 1,500 Matic, which is pretty much the average deposit of most people in Polygon Land. The algorithms were all withdraw every day, was the first one, with the inflation factor set at 20. Then it was all withdraw every day with the inflation factor set as 1. Then 33% withdraw, 66% reinvest daily with the inflation factor set at 20. And finally, 33% withdraw and 66% reinvest with our inflation factor set to 1. What is inflation factor? It can be seen like a door or a gate, a noise gate if you're into sound engineering, right? Essentially, when a certain number of claims compared to deposits hit, so that means drain, right? When a certain amount of drain on the contract hits, the factor inside our contract will begin to reduce the daily APR, which is called inflation, okay? It doesn't change the price of miners. Miners are always the same price in the Polygon Land miner. So we're trying to predict the factor, when the factor will begin closing, right, the door to then start hitting the inflation. So that means your yield will start to go down because at the moment we're still running at 3.5% daily. Can we do that forever? We could, but then that would mean that if no one else continued to put money in, then the contract balance would drain to 0, right? So that's why in a miner, the APR is variable. So as less money starts coming into the contract, then the APR goes down to try to sustain it for longer, so that we're waiting for that next wave of promotion or wave of investment coming into the contract, right? This is how it works. This is why I like miners, especially this one, because it's the world's most fair miner. So we started the project with the factor set at 20, which was the right thing to do, because that means that everyone who got in early got themselves guaranteed awesome APR, no matter how the project went in terms of investment, going in a lot or not. It turns out we got a load of investment, which is fantastic stuff, right? But with the current trend of 40% claiming and 60% compounding, which is pretty much what's going on, we predict that the factor is set too high, and the 3.5% daily will reach inflation too late, which means if we leave the factor 20 now, it will continue to stick at 3.5% daily for a long, long time. And that will in turn start reducing the TVL, which means when the factor is finally triggered, the APR will go down so fast, down to almost 0.01 if we keep the factor at 20. So because we predicted this, the model we used was that no more investment comes in from this point today, so we could really see the extreme value of it, okay? And we decided that the best thing to do was to change the factor to 1, okay, instead of 20. So that means with our predictions that with the same 40-60 behavior, 40% claim, 60% compound, that we modeled, we should see the inflation hit earlier and with a larger contract balance, meaning that the APR drop will not be as severe as if we kept the factor at 20, right? It's important to know that our predictions were made with no more deposits coming in, as I said, so all parameters will of course be extended if further investment continues to come into Polygon land, which of course we hope and plan to happen. Nothing is certain, but we believe making these two important changes, especially the factor one, will really give a lot of sustainability and chilled mining, you know, while we get Arbitrum land ready on the side, right? Our testing continues. We're now working with more dynamic variables. We're also looking at if more buys come in, how that will affect the inflation as well in the future. Because we are really bullish on the future of Polygon land, we're really bullish about the contract, but I'm not going to be the kind of guy who's going to fix a problem once it arises. I'm the kind of guy that wants to fix the problem before it arises, right? So that's what we're doing. We're planning, we're looking ahead, we're troubleshooting so that we can make sure that this is an absolute monster of a project for our whole club and every single person, all 255 of you who have gone into the contract. That's what we're working towards. So these are the big changes that have happened to Polygon Miner. We're very happy with the contract now. I don't think we'll be touching the smart contract at all for a long time. We will be, of course, making small tweaks here and there to the site, the UI, to try and get it optimized, and just now continuing on our journey into the next stages of our roadmap for Polygon land, Arbitrum land, and other things which we are working on the back end. So that's the update from Polygon land. Hope you liked it. See you in the mine. If you would like to join the Shitcoin Club, then you should get yourself the Shitcoin SCC NFT, where you can come to our website, link in the description. Come here to mint your poop. You will come to Poop's Lounge, where you can mint one. If you mint one, you can then use your poop, click on it, it will generate you a referral link. You can then use the referral link to then shill the Shitcoin Club to other people. If they mint, then you get on the leaderboard. If you're on the leaderboard, we send you Ethereum. That's right. That is it. Get in and vote. So yeah, last week I said that elephant token was due for a big correction because it's gone up 6x and it hasn't stopped all year, right? And actually in the comments of that video, it's pretty funny because some of these elephant guys are really convinced it's going to go up forever, which is great, but nothing goes up forever. It has to cool off. That's what I said anyway. I'm not fudding, I'm just saying how I see crypto, right? So we're going to have a look at elephant money today, see what's happened. I'm going to explain what my strategy is. You can probably guess what my strategy is because it's the same thing I've been doing for about 6 months. So let's get into it and let's get over to Binance Smart Chain on my MetaMask. Okay, so let's start first in the highest risk part of Elephant, just so we can get up to date with what's going on there. This is Elephant Money Futures. It is a BUSD ROI DApp where you deposit BUSD in. If you want to compound, you need to put in more BUSD. So at the moment, today I have $186. That's been, I think, 1 week of earning. When was the last day? Okay, so 5 days. In 5 days, I've made $186 from this now. The amount of BUSD I'm earning every week now is growing larger and larger. Really enjoying it. Let's check out its health. I haven't looked at this in a long time. I'm a bit scared. So, $13 million so far deposited into this contract. Wow. The TVL is 17 million. I don't know how that works, but it is. We see the total wallets and daily new wallets in futures is still continuing to grow. This is the intrinsic value, which of course dipped because of the price of Elephant went down, but the total compounds is still going up. Total withdrawals is also going up. Total withdrawals now are 2 million. Is that 2 million? Yeah, total withdrawals now is 2 million. It is growing faster and faster. The daily withdrawals are, of course, increasing, and the total daily deposits in green are also continuing to grow too. They are the daily deposits are almost always above the daily withdrawals still. So that's great to see, even when the price dipped. Oh, we did see one bad day. Yeah, there, 68 withdrawn, 40,000 put in. But apart from that, we are starting to see a turn on that. 112 in, 14K out, 57 in, $200,000 deposited in on the 3rd, which is 3 days ago. Another 100,000 going in. So actually, yeah, it still looks great. As long as this is totally up to date and everything's fine, we're looking good. The average deposit is $700, which means I'm well above that on this wallet, which is cool. This is also the other really important thing, account returned, who has ROI'd and who hasn't. So 10% ROI wallets is almost half, right? Coming up to 20%, that is half, or 20% or 10% ROI'd. People who are 220% ROI are up here, which is the market leader. Is one wallet, he's doubled his money already, right? But most people, as you can see, are not ROI. 90% ROI wallets are only 70 wallets out of total number of players. How many people are playing this now? 2,490. So 2,500 people are playing Elephant Money at the moment. In terms of the balance, how much we're putting in. So most people are just over zero, but less than $1,000 in it, right? And the second largest is under 10,000, and third largest is under 1,000. Meaning that, for example, this wallet I have is about 6,000, which means I'm in kind of in the topper range. A lot of people, 40 people have over 9,000 in this. And yeah, 405 people, sorry, have over $10,000 in the futures, which is crazy. That's nuts. Okay, so but looking good, to be honest. It's looking great. So what do? I wait for my future to go up to $200, then I decide whether I claim or if I compound. It really depends on if I need $200 on that day or not. Today I don't need $200, so I'm going to wait on anyway till tomorrow when it will hit 200. Then I'm going to probably take some BUSD that I think I have probably lying around this wallet. Yeah, I have some BUSD, so I will probably deposit it in, right? To do that then, yeah, so I've got 1,000 BUSD in here, so then tomorrow I'll take 200 BUSD, add it to the 200 available, meaning that I'm adding to my daily rate. My BUSD I earn every day will increase, and the amount of BUSD I can take out from this will also increase. So that's futures looking great. Elephant token, let's get into it. So we saw a huge dip. I saw, who was it, Brett, who is a member of our DAO, said today, how much money did Bank Teller take from you when he sold Elephant the other day? I don't really know. I didn't even look, I didn't even really notice that it went down until a couple of days afterwards. But this was the dip. So we went all the way up to the 6 we almost hit. That would be 6 zeros and a 6, but we got to almost that. But then it went from 6 zeros and a 6 almost all the way down to 6 zeros and a 4, which is about 30% dump in the space of 2 days. Quite extreme. And since then, we have seen a nice recovery of people buying more Elephant, or the people who took profit, because there's a 10% buy and sell tax on Elephant, so you need to take that into account when you're buying or selling it. But all you need to do in this kind of situation is zoom out, right? So here we are. We're coming to January this year. This is what I'm paying attention to. We were 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 zeros and a 6, and now we're 6 zeros and a 4, right? 6, 12, 18, 24, 36, 6x, right? We're still 6x up from January. Insane. That went too fast, right? It pumped too hard. If something pumps too hard, it's got to do that. But it doesn't look like, I'm sure you're wondering what the hell that is. That was the exploit, right? We didn't see that. We saw a sell-off from people who are 6x up from the lows, basically, that they've been DCAing all this way through. 6x profit, all-time high, take profit. That's what happens. Now, I think what we're going to see is that this tiny little bump right here, back in 2022, where we hit an all-time high here. I wasn't actually in it here. Elephant hit an all-time high here, then dumped back down, then had a brief period of 1 month of capitulation, getting ready like a coil, and then boom, mega pump, right? I think that this pump that we saw was the first one. Now we're going to see this coiling up, building, and then we're going to see absolute explosion to way beyond all-time high is my prediction for Elephant. So that's what I think is going to happen. This is not financial advice, but I'm not going off any metrics. I haven't looked at any liquidity. I haven't looked at any TA at all. It's just from my experience of what I see from the past and what I think is going to happen in the future. That's why we buy Elephant, right? Because we're planning for not just today or tomorrow. It's supposed to be for next year, right? Where we're going to make the big money. So we continue our DCA journey with Elephant, which is what I've been continuing to do. I'm not spending anything that I need. It's all gamble funds. Some people, take cash that they need for their daily life and they invest it into crypto. I'm not one of those guys. I have businesses. I have a family. I have a son. He goes to school. Need to pay for ingredients for the businesses, pay staff. I will not be spending that money on an elephant. But I'm very happy to risk my gambling funds with this protocol because I think it's awesome. So we continue on. The elephant journey continues. The NFTs, someone was asking me, should you buy them, right? So it's hard because the payout is good and sustainable, but it's not life-changing money unless you have a load of NFTs or if the price of the NFTs goes up. The price of Elephant goes up exponentially massive, like I predict, then these NFTs will be a really sweet play. But for example, it's been about 5 days since I took profit from the NFTs, and let's just check how much I've made in that time, right? Yeah, $5, $6. So it's about $1 a day with 5 NFTs, which means each NFT gets you about 20 cents a day at the moment in earning. So they're 2 BNB each, which is about $500. So $500 buy, and then you get about 25 cents a day off it. So it is a long ROI, but this is all to do with the general APR of the NFTs and of course the performance of Elephant. If that goes up, the payment from the NFTs goes up. So that's the gamble here, okay? That's Elephant money. If you are interested to check it out, I'll leave the links in the description. Have a look. It is fantastic. Loving it. Loving Elephant. Can't say I'm not. Great protocol. Great. Is it a Ponzi? Maybe. I don't care. Right. Okay, moving over to Pulse Chain to check up on our Pulse holdings and our activity over on the most Degen chain for sure. Let's check into my favorite on Pulse Chain for sure. It is the Pulse Drip. Pulse Drip is similar to Drip in every way, apart from one amazing change. Actually, a couple of amazing changes, but the one big one is that, well, there's two. One, you put your faucet in an NFT, you can have multiple faucets on one wallet. Nice. Two, if you ever claim your Pulse Drip, that Pulse Drip is then removed from your locked amount. So then every time someone claims, they get less the next day. Yeah, and then you have to compound it back up to then hit that earning again. And there can only ever be 5,000 faucets. At the moment, they're closing in on their 1,000th faucet. The price of Pulse Drip is $16. Still great. It's been around about $15, $16, $17 for weeks, which means we are printing 1% a day on a token, which is staying at the same price. It's awesome. That's what I love. Today, I have 12 Pulse Drip tokens to either compound or withdraw. As I said, so I have 261 locked in this account. If I withdraw my claimable of 11 Pulse Drips, that means my locked amount will go down to 250 because it will be reducing by 11, okay? So I don't really want that to happen. I'm running all of these 4 faucets. These all have 12, 10, and 10 respectively, and the whole idea is to compound all of them and get larger daily passive income over time. That's my plan with it, hoping that eventually Pulse Chain is going to explode because it's great. It is the best chain. It's my favorite chain. Did I tell you that? So today we will take the $200 we have claimable and we will compound all of our faucets. Why not? I think next week I'm going to claim. Why not? I'll treat myself. I'll claim next week. But this week it is just a nice time to just build up some more passive income, right? That's the whole plan. I don't need it today, so I compound it, hoping that the token price stays stable so I can get it the next day. Token prices, let's just see the Pulse Drip in action, what's going on with it. So we'll go here, P-Drip. This is P-Drip with Pulse liquidity 200,000. Don't mistake the one Pedro with the Tropa, because the liquidity is only $127 there. So this is the one that we want, and we're gonna have a look at the chart in the long term, okay? Because this is where it's really impressive what's going on with this project. They have a new game coming out too, which I'm still waiting on. But so this has been since launch, of course, crazy launch, up to $64, always happens, right? And then down to $13. Everyone panicked. Oh my God, it's over. The world's going to die. This is just another pump and dump. But since the 27th of August, or essentially 1 month and a bit, we have continued to stick on this trend line of around about $15, dipping down to a low of 11, 13, and a highs of 18. And now we're sitting at 16, which is right bang in the average of it. Fantastic stuff, guys. Yes. That's what I like to see, right? You can also use the die in Pulse Strip, the Pulse die, which we're going to have a look at. Okay, so this is P die, which I haven't checked on the prices actually. These are the Atropa coins, right? Which I have a video on. If you don't know what I'm talking about, you should really check out the Atropa system. But this is Pulse die. Of course, we had huge growth on this earlier, and it has kind of dumped, and now we're seeing slow climb back up in the Pulse die as well. So I'm sure the Atropa coin will have the same kind of momentum building, I'm guessing. So Atropa with Pulse, yeah, up 6% today as well. How are we doing? Yeah, more aggressively hiking actually coming up as well. This looks great. That's what I like to see, building back up that momentum, you know. Oversold, dump to hell, build back up, find the balance, reach all-time high again, go past it. That's what's going to happen. Mark my words. And then Pulse chain. Pulse token is performing better. Yeah, can see coming from that low, we are almost 2x from the floor. After all that SEC destruction that happened. Yeah, almost 2x recovery. Getting on the way. Nice to see. So really happy with this. We also have the gardens. If you're interested in joining Pulse Strip, I don't have a team, but in our core team, we do have a team member, Brian. He has a team. I always leave his link in the description. So if you want to join, he has one. He does airdrop. I'm not sure how often, but he does, because he announces it when he does. So you can join that team. Why not? And if you ever want to, you can just change your Pulse Strip team anyway, right? So that's also something cool about it. You can change your team. I have positions in these gardens, right? So I have Pulse staked in here, and I've been compounding it like a crazy man, right? So there's a 5% tax on compounds, 10% tax on claims. This tax goes to buy back and burn the Pulse Strip token, which is why it's performing really well as well. They have lots of core mechanics, which are all aimed at giving utility or kind of sustainability to the Pulse Drip token so that it performs well, and the better it performs, as the chart's showing, right, that means more people will start to buy it, and that trust in its value, right? So this is a really well put together platform, lots of different amazing little game theory and thought processes added to Pulse Strip to make sure that the token sustains. Really well thought out project. Can't recommend it enough. Even though this is not financial advice, why don't you just learn about it? Yeah, research about it. Why not? Then we have the Pulse die, which I've got in here. So I staked in like $150,000 of Pulse die, which is not worth $1 yet. So I've got 4,000 Pulse die available, so I'll also just compound that. I'm growing these gardens, same idea. I'm very much in a compound mentality on Pulse chain while the market is down here. The best thing to do is just build your positions, build your bags. A project which we will talk about very soon is Pulse Rate, but I firstly want to talk a little briefly about Spark Swap, because I was talking with the dev AJ, and probably from next week I'm going to be doing some sponsored content on Spark Swap, because they have a bridge coming out, and that should bring more into their TVL, which then should reflect well on the Spark price, and I guess on the APR of their Sparkler. We're going to get into it and talk about it next week, I think, whenever the bridge is ready. This is when I'm going to start making more content on this platform. For now, I'm still just in 2 pools with this platform, but it's done well. Has done well for me. Have ROI'd on my initial investment, and if I want to make big money on it, I'm going to have to put my money where my mouth is, basically. But if we come to the farm, you can see we still have the same pairs, and I'm with Spark and Pulse, and we're with PulseX and PLS. We've got another 25 bucks to claim today, but won't be claiming. So Spark Swap next week, we'll find out more. Tune back in. Pulse rate. So Pulse rate is still under peg, and the share token is still not looking good. Come to the dashboard, I have $20 rewards to claim today from these pools that I'm still in, and I moved one of my pools over to base chain for base rate, which is the next advancement of pulse rate. Unfortunately though, base rate seems to have gotten destroyed. Hopefully they can bring it back, but it's been a choppy day for base rate. Let's get base chain. These base boys apparently are paper hands, because I was having a good time just farming here, doing my usual compound 30%, claim profit of 30%, compound 70% was my strategy. But now the share token's gone down from $3,000 to $300, and the peg token is 50% under peg, and TVL hit 1 million, but now it is 230,000, so it's gone down three quarters down as well, 75% reduction in the TVL, all in about a day. So now if I come to like my staking now, I've got less. Luckily, I decided to stake into the wrapped ETH and USDC pool, so I'm not affected at all by that, apart from the APR has gone way down to 64%, which means actually, if I come to this one, the wrapped Pulse and ETH pool, which I was in pretty much already, right? It's the same percentage. So I moved over my funds, but now they're getting the same APR, which I didn't expect to happen. Hopefully they can repeg. They have a tax system, so now if you want to sell your share token, you're going to get a 10% tax on it. If you want to sell your peg token, you get 20% tax on your peg token. We have $13 to claim here from the last print that happened. There'll be no printing now because they're severely under peg. I would suggest what I think should be done to save base rate is to massively increase the tax on the share token and on the peg token. Massively increase, I think, is a good idea. So as in 50% tax if you want to sell the peg token, 50% tax if you want to sell the share token is what I would do. So that people stop selling, then we can get it to recovery, right? Or incentivize the bonds even more so that there's a larger bonus if it does repeg and you do buy bonds. Because what we should be doing now, of course, is going to the bonds and buying up these bonds. But when it's so massively under peg, such an early stage, of course, people are spooked and they're not maybe not interested in doing that, right? So it's a sticky time for the old base rate. Let's see how we go with it. Good luck. I'm not gonna leave. I'm gonna continue my strategy and let's see if we repeg. But yeah, I would raise the tax. That's what I would do. But I'm mean like that. A project I will be talking about next week too, because I'm in talks with them. I think we're going to cover it, is Carol Protocol. Yeah, Carol, that's that woman who was working for FTX in bed with SBF, and now she has her own bonding protocol. I don't think it's really her though, but I'm talking to them now, so I will ask. I'll find out if it is really Carol, because if it is Alameda, then we should maybe reconsider aping. But talking with them right now, we're in talks. The idea is that I'm going to be making a series of educational videos about the protocol and their roadmap and what's coming ahead. Essentially what happens is you will purchase Carol token with ETH. It is then bonded and then released to you over a slower amount of time. While you're waiting for the bond to mature, you can also add it into liquidity to then earn yourself daily income from holding your bond. Delayed gratification, essentially, right? That is the protocol. We will be talking about it next week. The chart looks like this, which I think looks pretty good. It's on base chain. My first experience with base chain was base rate. and I didn't like all those sellers, so I'm hoping that we get a better experience from Carol, and I'm hoping, of course, Base Gen can repeg, because I like it. Let's see. Come on, guys. You can do it. You can do it, guys. Okay, that is the end of Shitcoins of the week. I hope you enjoyed today's episode. A bit of a short one today because I've got a lot to do, because we are building and building and building. Lots to announce next week. I'll be giving the date for the first airdrop next week, so tune in, check it out. Don't get wrecked.